as soon as your stream went down, mine actually went up. Like, there's no problems. For some reason, there's just no problems with my stream anymore. Like, I was like, maybe I should try to start streaming this game just so that we don't miss it. And I tried to click start stream, and usually in the past it didn't go up for me. All of a sudden it went up now, so no problems anymore. And we should be. We're actually on our way. Unfortunately, we're not gonna get you in game anymore, but.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I apologize, people. This was not intentional. I don't know what happened, and I'm trying to actually figure out why you're suddenly so quiet.
I'm quiet now?
No. Just in my headphones. I don't think you're quiet on the stream. Okay. By the way, guys, I apologize. I'm back. To those watching out here, I'm sorry. And to Pluto's stream, thank you for at least sticking with him. This is all my fault. Like I said, yeah.
Are you overclocking right now on your computer?
I am, but the thing is, what I did was I also overclocked my graphics card, so I disabled that just to see if that was the issue. I can't the thing is that I can't disable the overclock. The overclock has been this way forever. I don't know why it does it. It's only the stream, and I seriously, I think just XSplit just hates things that are faster than 4.5 gigahertz. I don't know. I don't know. I like Pluto. Like I've got like, okay, if they say kiss me, I'm lucky, I'm Irish. Like, I'm not that. Okay, apparently.
The opposite.
Yeah,
DJ
sorry,
Spectre. peeps. But you know what? I just gotta say this about this game right now. This Protoss wall is literally just the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. There's like 2 pylons in it, and it's still not like a complete wall off.
You mean
like,
the wall for the at the main?
Yes. The wall at the natural, and he just put a 3rd pylon down, and I think it might be a wall now, but it's just the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, straight up, this is just like the cyber core is like sort of half participating in the wall, sort of half not participating.
So I mean, so like, what you're trying to say is it's kind of like an absentee like spouse. It's kind of like it's sort of there, but it's just kind of going through the motions.
Yeah, that's sort of exactly what's happening right now, and more links just coming out from Kai, trying to establish his natural, because it was cannon rushed in the last game, so it did get cancelled there. But he did go ahead and take the gold base in the middle, and just now trying to get that natural up.
You know what the thing is? This is why I love StarCraft, is you get to see cheesiness like cannon rushes. Like, there's nothing, like, I hate being cannon rush personally, but there's just something about it that makes me giggle as a human. And I don't know why. It's just, it's so bad, but yet it's so good. Like, watching it, because you're like, I definitely need to see how this finishes. Like, I just have to know.
McDonald's, right? It
is.
You're like, God, this is just so gross. It's like cardboard fries, but at the same time, it's like, oh, it's just so good at the same time. I don't know.
I know. You know, the thing is, though, I'm a fast food junkie, so the thing is, like, I know, like 89% of the people I know are like, oh my god, why do you eat fast food? And I'm like, because it's so terrible, it's delicious. Like, so fun fact. Well, anyway, I'll let you. If you're able to commentate the game, we'll do that. If not, then I will continue my story. But I will otherwise be quiet, I suppose.
Okay. Well, double Stargate production right now, so about 4 Phoenixes are about to pop right. Or there's two out, 2 more about to pop, and he is gonna get quite a few kills here. He already got a Ling and a drone. Probably gonna get a couple more overlords around the map, and just retake map vision away from his opponent. 6 Phoenixes out now. And, I mean, this is good up until the Hydras get out. So we'll see what he wants to do then. Hydras are actually pretty bad against Phoenixes in small numbers, because they all just get lifted. But when you do start to get more numbers on that Phoenix count, you do start to get, more numbers on the Hydra count. You do get to start to get pretty scary against Phoenixes that don't really counter them at all. So.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that, like, you see. Okay, so like Hydras have got like more DPS than I think a lot of players give them credit for. I think part of the reason is because you always see like the Marine as the total like DPS master. Short turnover time, decent damage, lots of hits within like a 1-second interval, right? But the Hydra is actually like, even though the fact that it's kind of squishy because it's a non-armored unit, the thing is that it does way more damage, even in melee range, than like most other units, and that's kind of crazy. you know?
And like as we see right there, like the Hydras do a lot of DPS, but they both just got lifted up by the Phoenixes and just got destroyed there. So Kai is doing the good thing, which is just spreading out, you know, spore crawlers around the map, but he's just losing so many overlords to this, and he really needs to get up that Hydra force up to like 10, 12 Hydras in order to actually deal with this Phoenix army. So many queens just getting picked off. Oh
and
my
you
God.
know, that's the thing is that like if you've got air units, I don't do this as much, but I really should. Is you send a couple of air units, like 1 or 2 Vikings, 1 or 2 Phoenixes, you know, a couple of Mutas or something, just to chip away at the Overlord count. Why? It's cheap harassment, because normally the Overlords are just somewhere else on the map, right? You do a little bit of harassment, it forces the other player to have to acknowledge that, okay, this dude is, I mean, even if it's only one action, like you all move your Overlords to the center of the map, whatever it is, you took away a moment of their time from doing something else that you don't want them to be doing.
And also, okay, so very interesting composition out of Neeblit here. He went from double Stargate and double Robo into a lot of Immortals. So he has sort of his composition here, a lot of Phoenixes and a lot of Immortals, and then just a bunch of Zealots and Sentries, which is really sort of an effective composition here. And the Phoenix is just doing so much work at picking away at Overlords and such that I feel like it's actually a very, very effective attack that's happening right now. And actually the Phoenix is getting involved once again, and the force fields have been really good, and Kai is actually kind of up against it now.
That sounds really desperate, actually, you know, and I know that I'm doing this blind, but like listening to this sort of play-by-play, like you as a player, you hear the compositions, and you're like,
yeah.
It's like it'd be like going Void Ray versus Marines, I guess, because I'm a Terran and you're a Protoss player. It's one of these things where it's like you just know it's the hard counter, or not the hard counter, it's the counter, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that you hear it and you're like, well, okay, fine. If you can somehow like outmass the person with that unit, like, okay, Phoenix versus Hydra, not the best setup for the Protoss. But if he manages to get lots and lots and lots of Phoenixes, okay, maybe this would work. Maybe if
or just not a lot of Hydras. There's only 4 Hydras left, and all of which can be lifted by the Phoenixes. They do extra damage versus light, and that's exactly what happened. All the Hydras did get taken out by the Phoenixes, and now this ground army for Protoss is just gonna like roll through Kai's entire defense here. Drones being pulled off the line. And the Immortals are just doing so much work, and I think Kai's have to GG out. Neeblit actually takes game number 1 here, and I think it is this a best of 1?
What this was the, hold on, I didn't see what this thing was.
Yeah, this is actually a best of 1, I believe.
Okay, because it's up until the round of 16, right? Yeah, I think. Let me look at the rules here real quick, because they change it like every week based on the number of people. Where's it at? BO1, oh yeah, round of 16 starts the best of 13. Sorry, best of 3. Best of 13. Best of 13. Good God, that would be one incredibly long tournament.
Best of 69.
I know, it's like, all right, by the way, guys, we're going best of 113. It's like, what, is that even a prime number? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like so Neeblit is going to actually move on to the next round. And let's see here. Neeblit... So Neeblit is gonna go ahead and face Buffalo Sking.
What? Sorry, I'm looking. I was about to flip over to the bracket, and I heard you describe that. I'm like, hold on, that sounds like something either like medical or obscene. Like, I'm not sure which one it was.
It's called. His name is Buffalo Sking.
Buffalo-skin. You know what? I agree, but you know what? He's also from Brazil, so I don't even. That might be a word in like Portuguese for all I know.
Very possible.
Oh, hold on. Maybe it's Buff-a-King, like buff a. I don't know. Like maybe it's a. Well, I was gonna say like you buff buff a, and I was gonna say lust, but it's not like linking or Hydralusk or something. I do whatever. Buffalo-skin. I don't know. Sounds like a sandwich. That's what I'm going for.
Oh, his name is Neeb. Yeah, he's a really good Terran player from a year ago, WCS, when inactive switched to Protoss. Ah, gotcha. Gotcha. Makes a lot of sense there. I thought I did assign my stream to the... Oh, it says offline again. That's interesting.
Oh, well, mine's up and running for what it's worth. I mean, you and I might have to, like, I don't know, like, tag team, like, something like WWE here, where it's like, all right, dude... We're the, what is it, the, oh, what is it? The Bushwhackers. If anyone remembers WWE and the Bushwhackers, good on you, because I had to look that shit up. But like the Bushwhackers were these two guys, and I'm gonna demonstrate it on camera. They'd show up on the thing and be like wah wah wah, and this is what they would do all the way out to the stage. And there was these two fat guys that were supposedly like brothers, you know, brothers in WWE, because WWE is real, right? Okay, like trust
So
me, it's real, totally real. Anyway, but they would. One time they tag teamed by bumping bellies.
Oh.
However, Pluto and I really aren't that big of dudes. At least I don't think. I'm assuming Pluto's not that big of a dude. If he is, then he's got an amazing view from the shoulders up, and he hides everything very well.
Well, we can still belly bump.
But anyway, so.
Yeah, so we are just waiting on a game now. Looks like Gamja's already in game, but I'm really just expecting him to make it all the way to the finals. So, not just jumping on that. We'll try to get him in the next game if possible. Meanwhile, maybe we can get Zergwave versus his opponent Panda Bear Me here. That would be
There's
pretty
also
nice.
we also have well, hold on, let's see. Let me refresh the bracket here. See who else. Apocalypse is actually currently still in this as well.
Okay.
And he actually is fighting Arundel. Ironically, you know, we've actually casted both of these people, but separately, never together.
Yeah. Yeah,
And then you're right, then it's Kelzer beat Operator, Sanctum versus... I think that already started, though. Sanctum versus...
Just started. If you see him in chat, try to message him, because they literally were in the lobby a second ago.
And then it looks like Gamja's in his map. Oh no, Gamja's not in his. We could do Gamja versus Hope, Sweden versus Korean.
Gamja is in the game right now.
Oh, he is? He's still in the lobby.
I don't know how he's in the lobby, but he is in game.
Alright, dude, he's got some, like, I don't know, like, 2 places at once, and he's pulling, like, the Flash on us.
Yeah.
So for those of you guys who aren't familiar with the Flash, for DC Comics, the Flash can be in 2 places at once, by the way. He can move so fast. He creates something called a, oh my god, what is it? It's an echo of himself, is what it is. Zeke versus the Walrus. I love that name, Zeke. Zeke.
Yeah, Zeke's actually a really cool name. I think we've casted him before too.
I actually have never casted Zeke. That might have been just you, because I've had a couple of absences here and there. But then there's also Nuclear Pro and Bigorde, which means double large. Literally, like, well, because okay, so Portuguese is like literally like a mishmash of French and Spanish. So a lot of the words, like, I can look at them and they'll have like the French accents, but then the Spanish words and spellings, which is crazy. So bigorde means like 2 large, because gorde is big. So too big.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe too big. I'm just trying to find Buffalo Sking on and that's just the best name ever. I didn't like it at first, but the more I say it, the more I like it.
You know, the thing is, it's one of these things where you have to pronounce it, so like it becomes like a fun word to say. It's like Buffalo Sking. It's like, it almost sounds like a word that someone would say when they're sneezing. I don't know. Like, it's a fun word to say. Like, I don't mean like sneezing in a bad way. I mean, because like you feel relieved when you sneeze, right? So like,
oh, Buffalo Sking.
I know. It's like Buffalo Sking. That's a really terrible example, but I had to pull my foot out of my mouth somehow.
Looks like
who seems to be
Buffalo
offline?
Sking's offline.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. So let's see if there's I mean, like, I don't know how Gamja is in the lobby but in game. Is he like OP?
So OP, dude.
He's so OP. He can be in 2 places at once.
When you become a Korean pro, that's what happens.
These darn Koreans, they've got macro so much it bends the space-time continuum. You know what? Apparently, when you break. By the way, you know who we saw in chat, and I forgot to mention. I didn't get a chance. Bobby Awesome was in chat earlier, and Bobby Awesome is like my ESL nemesis.
He's the is he platinum now too?
Mm-hmm.
He used to be in gold, right?
Yeah. That's how I met him. And then the thing is that then he actually got promoted, and so then I couldn't play him anymore because I was in the gold, the bronze, silver, gold tournament. And he was in the platinum, diamond. And then ever since I got promoted, he quit playing. I'm like, dude, I need my Nemesis back.
That's the kid with the insane APM. His APM is always like 500.
No.
Like,
I kid you not. Element and I watched it. It went up to 1,000 once.
I don't even know how that's possible. Like,
I don't know either. Like macros, like maybe he's got a cat tap dancing on his keyboard. Like I don't know. Yes, I just said cat tap dancing. You like that? You know that. All right. Hold on 1 second here.
Yeah, looks like. Oh, it is game 2. Okay, so we're gonna be casting Zergwave versus Panda Bear Me.
Oh my God, Panda Bear Me, please don't kill me. We crashed out of your last game. Sorry.
Yep. Everybody is ready, and it looks like we're probably not gonna have problems anymore, right? So
I hope. I cross my fingers. If the PC crashes one more time, I'm just gonna bow out, and I'm not gonna cause any more issues. So I apologize to those people watching. I really. I mean, I don't have like a super high quality stream as far as like I don't have like great production, but I want it to be stable. So I apologize.
Yeah.
I really do try. Pluto happens to have a little bit better luck with that. So anyway, keep watching, please. If not mine, then watch Pluto's. That's twitch.tv/sc2pluto, please. Anyway, so I will start with the guy on the top here. Looks like we've got our green Zerg starting in the 10 o'clock position. It is Zergwave.
And in the bottom, it's gonna be the game we basically just casted. It is Panda Bear Me. He was very convincing against that Pro S player. Let's see if he's gonna be able to do it again versus Zergwave.
So what would you like to see out of these two players? I mean, a mirror match, things always kind of get like, you know, a lot of like I don't know, like patty cake like almost, I guess would be the best description. So what would you like to see out of one of these players? Like if you wanted to see something different, what would you want?
I don't want to see. Okay, one player can go Roach Hydra, but we see that out of like every single Zerg player now. It's like match Roach, and then someone adds on Hydras, and then the other person adds on Hydras, right? I want to see somebody go like Mutas.
Like fast Mutas?
Either fast Mutas or just go Mutas in general, because we don't see Mutaling sort of as common in Zerg. I guess you do see like Roach into Muta or Roach like Hydra into Muta or something like that, but no, it's never like I'm not gonna go Roaches. I'm gonna go Mutas and like Lings and Banelings. That never happens at all.
Mainly, you're right, and I think part of the reason is because that's usually like an anti-Terran sort of defense is Ling Bling Muta. It really is because of the heavy reliance on bio. And here actually you do see a little bit of difference. So you see a pool first actually out of Zergwave, and you see a hatch first out of Panda Bear. So we do see someone at least trying to go for a little bit of early aggression, possibly Zergwave here, where you can send out a few extra Zerglings earlier, because the pool, it will be done for him vastly faster than it will be out of Panda Bear Wave. I'm sorry, Panda Bear Me. I just combined both their names. I just pulled an Archon mode.
Yeah, but I definitely think Panda Bear Me is the player that wants to go Roach Hydra. I don't know about Zergwave, but I still think that Muta, Ling, Bling can be an effective composition against a Zerg player, right?
Okay, and why is that? Why is that?
Well, because, so here's the thing, right? Banelings are good against Hydras. Not as much as against Roaches, but they're very good against Hydras. And Mutas are good against Roaches because Roaches don't shoot up. So as long as you get the good engagement, you can actually be pretty effective with that composition. And you need to use the links to get your Banelings to get the connections that they need. So as long as you can get that, it can actually be pretty good. The thing is, it's harder to make that work than it is to just go like Roach Hydra. So that's why most players just go Roach Hydra, and it's like the Roaches buffer and your Hydras do the DPS, and that's fine. So I guess I'm gonna edit it. I really don't think
you're gonna edit this.
I really don't think that.
I'm gonna redact 25 minutes worth of statements with this next sentence.
Well, here's the thing, right? I don't think either player is really wants to go Roach like Ling Bling Muta against a Roach Hydra composition. I want to see Infestors because
Infestors.
Like, you
hype if you want Infestors. I said hype if you want Infestors.
Oh yeah, definitely hype if you want Infestors, because Infestors, and that's a lot more standard of a thing to do. Oh, there we go. Baneling Nest does go down for Panda Bear.
Wow, that's actually a reversal. See, I actually thought that Zergwave was going to go for the Banelings first. I don't know. The part of the reason is because I saw the early pool. So I'm like, all right, he's gonna go for Banelings first. He's gonna get the speed, and then he'll get Banelings. You
But he is
know,
still
but
mining gas.
yeah, and that's the thing. That was the thing is I was like, oh, okay, but he's late on the gas. That was the thing. I'm like, all right, so Zergling Flood, and then. You know, but now it looks like actually look at this. Panda Bear Me is the one doing the aggression with the 2 early lings. Wow, quite a role reversal.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly why. Like maybe a fast road. Oh no, so there's gonna be a bathing nest for Zergwave. So I thought he was gonna skip straight to Roachhorn, but it looks like he's gonna make that bathing nest. Maybe it's defensive bathing nest. I don't know if he wants to do aggression out of this, but Panda Bear Me making 18 lings right now. Waiting to flood across the map with them. Because as soon as he does that, they will all be scouted by these overlords, sort of stretched out. So Zergwave needs to start making defensive banelings at home as soon as his baneling nest finishes, and then he will probably be safe here. He's making 14 lings of his own in order to defend against this aggression by Panda Bear Me. And
yeah, and he is transforming 4 banelings back here, which will help against that. But they're not gonna. Oh, and here it is. Look, there's a couple of banelings gonna walk in. There's 3 more being morphed, but the Zergwave banelings are gonna have to contend with this until his banelings are ready. Sorry, his Zerglings are gonna contend with this until his banelings are ready.
The dance begins, and we'll see if the baneling hits are going to be able to, happen here. Looks like he's going to explode a couple banelings onto that baneling, but he needs to just, oh my god, avoiding some of the other banelings here, and that was actually pretty nicely done by Zergwave so far. Panda Bear Me morphing in more banelings.
Oh, he gets a decent connection. He takes out maybe 2-3 with that, but still, wow, he actually manages to hold that fairly well. I mean, he definitely needs a couple of more reinforcements, maybe a queen to absorb those baneling shots there, but that was actually surprisingly well held. But it looks like Panda Bear Me is just able to simply flood across the map. The defender's advantage completely overwhelmed, which is usually an unusual thing, which is, sorry, not a usually unusual thing, but an unusual thing for Zerg. And as you can see here, I mean, he just doesn't have much. He doesn't take out any of the workers, which is surprising, but Panda Bear Me gets the victory.
So actually wins that game 2-0. He did win that first game that we were not able to cast. So Panda Bear Me going up 2-0 and moving on to the round of 8.
By the way, excellently done, for Panda Bear Me. So he moves, he advances, and I got to rejoin this group again because of, you know what? StarCraft wants all my internets, and I can't give you all my internets. I'm sorry, bro. You can't have all my internets. You know what I am going to do, though? I'm going to move this out, minimize that. Maybe this will help. We will...
Alright, so I guess we can cast Panda Bear Me versus Gamja.
Oh, that's actually going to be a very interesting matchup. Let's see here. 1 second, folks. By the way, if you guys have not already, or if you guys are still watching my stream, please go ahead and also give sc2pluto a follow. He's my co-caster here in the background. By the way, also, if I have audio issues, please let me know. I need to know that because otherwise it's not going to be fun for anyone. You won't be able to hear my co-caster. It's going to sound like I'm talking to myself or going crazy or both. I'm not sure those are mutually exclusive, but whatever. Please give him a follow. It would be dope if you did. So,
swag. Yep, thanks for the little bit of a plug there. And I guess a lot of people are watching on the ESL website, right?
I did not know that they had a direct link there, but if they do, what's the link? Why don't you post it in both of our chats? Or no, actually, if you tell me it is, I'll post it in mine. You can post it in yours because you said is your stream still working?
Yeah, my stream's up. So.
Okay. So go ahead and because unfortunately, if I go to watch your stream, like I know something terrible is gonna happen.
or the Team Liquid stream. There's a Team Liquid stream.
Oh, the team. Oh, I did post on at least I posted on Team Liquid because you can activate your account to list that you're streaming.
Yeah,
so I did put it there.
I did that too. So. There might be a couple of people watching from there. That's pretty cool.
By the way, thank you guys. By the way, wherever you guys saw the message, whether it's from my Facebook post, whether it's from Twitter, whether it's from Team Liquid or Reddit, welcome to the stream. And by the way, I should probably put my face back up here. Hey, by the way, hi, I'm DJ Spectre. The headless voice you hear is sc2pluto. He is an excellent StarCraft 2 player as well as a commentator, and he helps me with this stream. And actually, a lot of times I would actually say that I actually help him with it because I'm actually usually on his stream. So this is kind of a role reversal.
And it's been pretty fun today. And it's always like fun that when you don't have to worry about any type of production, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, TJ's gonna do all the production, and I can just chill and not do anything. That's always great. By the way, thanks
so let
for
me
the
guess.
follow.
You've sat back. You've made a few corn dogs or something crazy. You've knitted a sweater, right?
By the way, thanks for the follow. What's this guy's name? Hey, what?
Yeah, that
hey,
dude.
sup, WTF?
You said what's up, WTF? That's his name.
That's his name, yeah. Hey,
That's
sup.
awesome.
Hey, sup, WTF?
By the way, I'm gonna go ahead and pimp myself here for a bit. So just saying, if you click my follow button, I'll give you a big thumbs up and I'll give you a hey. Unfortunately, I don't have like Nightbot or anything crazy set up on my stream yet to recognize it, so I have to keep refreshing the page to see who the most recent follower was. So give me a few seconds. You will get recognition on the stream. I just don't quite have all the pieces in place that Pluto does.
Yeah, you can. It's pretty easy. There's a bunch of different things that do it. Night Dev has some cool stuff. You should go check that out. But
yeah, I definitely gotta do that before Thursday. I really do, because I'm frustrated with how other people have it so easy, and I'm kind of like herpy derp derp derp. Hit the refresh button. Like, what is that? Like 1994? Like, come on.
1994, hitting the refresh button to thank my.
Sorry, by the way, in 1994 they didn't even know the F5 button was the same as the refresh. Okay, all right. I'm learning. I'm a noob. As Pluto types in the chat, it's like, this DJ Spectre noob guy. It's okay. I'm gonna call myself a nooblet. That's new, nooblet.
Actually, his name is Noob, I think.
Well, not his. He's like Neeblet or something, right?
It's Neeb, yeah.
I'm a nooblet. I'm a baby noob. Like there was like okay, quick super story. I had a guy that I used to work with. He was this I'd say middle-aged black dude that I worked with, and I worked in retail for a lot of my high school and college years, and I looked like really young for my age, and so I mentioned that I was in college, and he's like, "Boy, you still got milk on your breath." I'm like, "What?" And it took me a while to figure out what that reference meant, and he meant that I was still like basically breastfeeding. And I was like, "Wow." So by the way, a nooblet is like I still got milk on my breath. All right, that's what I feel like.
That's a nooblet.
Yeah,
But
that's a nooblet. Okay.
Then? What is a neeblet then?
A neeblet is like, I don't know. It's like Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
The Knights Who Say Knee.
Knee. Yeah.
There you go. Knee. That's what a neeblet is. It's like a recently recruited Knights Who Say Knee.
Gotcha.
Okay, that's a really bad joke. You can give me the courage to laugh. It's fine. I get it. It sucked. All right.
That was a great joke. Any sort of Monty Python reference is automatically a good joke.
By the way, am I the only person in the world who hasn't seen Life of Brian?
I haven't seen it.
Okay, good. I don't feel so bad then.
Life of
That's
Brian,
apparently
yeah.
the other Monty Python classic.
Yeah, and definitely a lot of people are always like, yeah, that's a great one to go watch. Still haven't, but I'll get there.
It's just a bunny rabbit, but it's got fangs. Like that. I still crack up at that part. I don't know why. And then the rabbit murders like half of his group. It's like awesome. But anyway, yeah. So peeps, give me a follow. Give Pluto a follow. If you're watching either one of our streams, and by the way, if you want to cut over to Pluto's stream, that is twitch.tv/sc2pluto.com. Pluto as in the planet, not Pluto as in the dog. I guess they're spelled the same, but maybe if you're weird, you spell it with a D instead of a T.
Oh.
Pluto. That's like what you say when you got like guns and money. You're like, my name's Pluto.
I'm rolling in the Pluto.
Exactly. See? You felt it? Anyway. We're
Also
waiting for a
good
match,
DJ.
but this is actually a serious cast or supposed to be. It's this is the ESL America's Cup Open number 22. It's worth $50 to the winner, and for some countries that are entering into this, $50 makes you more than just holla. It is more than $50 because in apparently more that like there. By the way, the American dollar is not the worst currency in the world yet. We're getting there, but it's not quite the worst.
No. Didn't the Zimbabwe dollar is like 12 million or something, or 35 trillion? It's 35 trillion for
You're looking it up, aren't you?
Yeah.
35. Okay, Gamja invited me. I'm waiting on you to get the invite. All right.
35 trillion Zimbabwe dollars for every $1.
That's insane. Like, that's where inflation has just gone bonkers.
I mean, like, so here's here's my sort of take on it, right? It's like they're like, let's print some money, and they're like, all right, and eventually they get to like $1,000 on every single like currency. That's fine. Korea has 1,000, right? And that's perfectly fine. It's like you just took your cents and made them like dollars. You just took out the period, right?
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine. And then
it's okay. Like, we're gonna have to get rid of the. We're gonna have to get rid of the penny anyway. It costs more to produce than it's worth.
It does, doesn't it? And so it's not a terrible idea to go up to like 1,000, and then it's like, okay, now we're at 10,000 for every $1, and it's like, all right, maybe we're getting a little bit excessive. It's like now we're up to 1,000,000 for every $1. It's like, okay, now we're sort of like just have too many zeros. We're up to 1,000,000,000, and it's like, oh my god. I'm spending so much on ink to put all these zeros on each coin, and then we're like, now we're at $1 trillion for each dollar. And it's like,
I never thought of that. You're like, it costs more in the ink to put the extra 7 zeros on there.
It's like we're running out of space on the bill to put zeros. Like, at that point,
it's like, okay, you know what the thing is? Anyway, we'll come back to this in a second, okay? Because I want to finish this conversation because I like it. In the in the lower right-hand corner, we've got our yellow Zerg, our winner of our last game. It's Panda Bear Me.
And in the top, the green Zerg player. It's the Korean playing for Team Gravity. It is Ganja. Anyways.
So back to this. So the thing is that you go over and like whatever, like, so the most common denomination of the American currency is the $20 bill, right? Yeah. However, like over in Japan, it's like the 10,000 yen, right? Oh. So like you get it, and it's like, oh, by the way, there's 4 zeros behind us. I must be rich. And it's like, no, that's 50 cents.
50 cents, yeah.
It's like, but it's weird because the yen actually isn't measured the same with the dollar. It's like we have the dollar, but then below that we've got like, you know, quarters, dimes, nickels, pennies, right? With the cent. But then, like, what's the yen? Like, what's below the yen? Like in the pound, you've got the, what the hell's below the pound? It's the pound, and then it's the...
Ounce?
Oh, my God. It's the what? The pence. Yes, that's it.
The ounce? It's not the ounce, are you sure?
No, it's the pence, right? Whatever it is. Yeah, it's something else. But the thing is, the pound, like the British pound, there's another word that represents something that's lower than that, but they just measure it all in the pound, right?
Yeah.
Like, the U.S. got the same thing, but then you look at, like, the yen, and it's just like, nope, it's the yen. There's no other currency. It's just the yen. Like, you have a quarter yen, you've got a tenth of a yen, but it's a yen.
Yeah, that actually makes a little bit more sense. Like pennies, dollars. I don't know, because it's the same sort of thing in like Korea and like other countries. Mm-hmm. Like you just have one name for the currency and then just the number.
And like even if they're crazy sounding, like the Thai baht is the same thing. BHAT for those of you who aren't familiar with the currency, it's the same thing. It's like they have one name. Like, only America and Britain are like, nah, derp. We need 4 words for the same currency. All right, we're good.
I mean, I guess StarCraft also has like minerals and gas. That's like 2 different things.
Like what? No, you know what? Done. Screw this. Done. Flip table. I'm out. I'm out. 2 resources. Can't manage that. Gotta go back to playing League of Legends. Oh, I said it. Sorry, but any of these Zerg players, so if you look up here at Gamja, he went hatch first, and he's got a pool, but they're pretty even on production. I mean, if you look at the production table, I mean, like, everything is almost lined up almost perfectly between the two of them.
The only real difference is that Gamja got such an early gas, and he's gonna be able to get a really fast speed. There we go. Speed already started for Gamja. That's insanely fast, but it's entirely scouted by Panda Bear Me, so he knows exactly what's up. And like Gamja left 2 on gas, so that makes me think he wants to go up to like a Baneling nest, and he's gonna do some sort of aggression with a lot of links. That's what I'm sort of expecting out of Gamja now, because he got just such a fast speedling and such fast gas, really.
Yeah, and the thing is, absolutely right. Like after doing the caching, like I've gotten more familiar with this, and then you see these 4 Zerglings, I should say, like having a little dance, right? You know, it's like the worst high school prom ever, except for you don't get to go home and like make out with your date. You get to go home and kill your date. And so anyway, we see like literally look at this off here on the map, like literally like Panda Bear and me's like half-health Zergling's like, no, I'm running. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go home. Would you quit trying to make out with me? I will not marry you. Leave me alone.
Senior prom is gonna be so much better than this prom.
I know, but then he stops and he's like, nope, going again. Nope, we're going around. I'm not queuing it up. He keeps microing this and it's not queued up. Like he's individually issuing instructions. Does he finally send it home? Or is it? I don't even know where this thing's rallied to.
How does he do things at home? Like,
I know. It's like, you know what? You can go home and play video games instead of worrying about this really expensive prom date that's probably not going to kiss you anyway at the end of it. So, that's what happens. Finally, the scorned prom date goes home, but unfortunately he's met with two more. That's like, oh my god, now there's two women. We're done. Oh well, okay, that was I'm dead. He's like, well, so much for that prom. Maybe next time. Call me later.
But Pandaberry's speed is about to finish here, so I'm not sure exactly why Gamja wanted to get such a fast speed. But it looks like he's gonna make a couple banelings here, and I don't know, are those defensive banelings or does he want to do some sort of aggression? 20 lings on the way for Pandaberry, and it's interesting that Pandaberry is the one that wants to put on the aggression now because Gamjo is the one that took such an early gas, and he's already going up to lair, so maybe he's just tacking up to really fast Mutalisks.
Yeah, that's the other thing I think of, Bees. I mean, when you're looking at Banelings, I mean, Mutalisks don't exactly do a ton of damage to Banelings, but it's still something that Banelings can't kill, right? And so Gamja throws up these defenses. He's got what, 3 spine crawlers now on his front? So, and now he's like, well, screw it. I'm gonna go ahead and just flood the other side of the map. Like, just screw it. But
here we go. Pandaberry's entire wave is coming back, so now Gamja's actually on the defensive here. He's putting on more spine crawlers. He has 4 of them already, and 2 queens here to defend, and very good baneling shots right away. But there's still a lot of banelings out for Pandaberry and a lot of Zerglings too.
Yeah, and the thing is that, like, now I think what it is he's sending Zerglings out simply to try to keep them away from his base. Like, just sending them out, forcing him to stay in this little, like, sort of, I don't know, not triangle, but square angle. And he's got spine crawlers up. The spine crawlers will resist the banelings, but there's just so many banelings. Like, holy cow. There's still 2 left, and they took down 2 spine crawlers. Finally, the last baneling goes down. There's another spine crawler, but it's not enough. They flood into the main here. They're going to go ahead and try to, kill off these lings, but then he goes and turns them into cocoons, and the 2 banelings are just kind of running around like, well, I don't know what to do, boss. What am I supposed to do? But you called it. Look at that. That's a spire right there in Gamja's base.
Well, I think Gamja's actually helped us pretty well. Pandaberry's sort of out of lings. They're even on supply. They're even on supply and workers, and it's a pretty even game now. The only difference is that Pandaberry hasn't started his or it hasn't finished his lair yet, and there's already a spire done for Gamja. Gamja's just winning the tech game with Mutas on the way now, and that's gonna be his main advantage. So I said I wanted to see some Ling Bling Muta, and
you saw some Ling Bling Muta.
Yes, I did. Finally, it's about time. Pandaberry's trying to make some defensive
about time. At home. You're like, hell, it's about time.
Yeah, it's about time.
And here come the banelings actually from Pandaberry. I mean, there's one baneling shot. I think he self-detonated actually. Oh no, yeah, there must have been another baneling that I didn't see. Sorry, I don't have my team colors up to like thermonuclear green and yellow. But here, there's 2 Mutalisks. I mean, it's not a lot, but it's enough to go ahead and at least harass this. And they're going to go ahead and try to pick away at these banelings. He's stutter-stepping the Mutalisk to try to pick them off before they get into the base. And it's actually doing what it's supposed to do. A 3rd Mutalisk joins the fight. Queen does, the spine crawlers, the banelings literally do nothing.
He stutter flying the mutas. And actually,
so and that is game 1.
Game 1. Gamja actually taking the game off of Pandaberry with the fast tech up to mutas. So I know what's his name? Beast is in chat now watching this because he is the teammate of Gamja on Team Gravity there. So Beast is probably cheering on Gamja. He's up 1-0, so no need to fear.
Sorry, man. You don't need to worry about it. No teeth chattering. You don't need to chew your nails. You're good. Your homie's doing fine here. We'll take a look at that real quick here. We'll just take a look at that graph, the army graph. If you look at this, like Pandaberry actually had a vastly superior army for a while, but he just wasn't able to hold it due to really good static defenses by Gamja and good unit control. In that case, he saw that there was Ling Bling Ling Bling, and he decided to build a few static defenses. For what it's worth, even though he lost 2 spines, that held off the main push. And I think that was actually key there, was those 3 spine crawlers.
Yeah, definitely. The spine crawlers were very good, and the mutas eventually taking off the banelings there. So, yeah, definitely held the first push very well. And I think maybe Pandaberry shouldn't have gone up into that main. I think if he just attacked in the natural, and he has so many banelings there, I think he shouldn't have exploded them into the spine crawlers. Just tried to get more links with them. Or even just economic damage on drones. That would have been good too. But Still very, very high level play out of both players here.
Yeah,
So
like I said, mirror matches. Like I gotta admit, like ZVZ is not one of my favorite matches, but at least that one was kind of like sort of touch and go. You know, you're not sure. We guessed one way, the other player ended up going the other direction. Meaning he was more aggressive. So hopefully there's some more of that back and forth here, where we see something like touch and go. It's like it's even units, but how do you micro it, sort of thing. You know. Um,
yeah.
Starting in the lower left-hand corner, it is currently our leader, up 1-0. It's our green Zerg. It's Gamja.
And in the opposite, it's going to be the yellow Zerg player. Needs to win 2 in a row in order to actually advance into the semifinals. It is Panda Bear Me. So I'm actually pretty excited to see. Oh, 9-pool. 9-pool coming out of Panda Bear Me here. So it's actually his turn to choose.
He's feeling on the ropes. This is almost a sign of desperation. I mean, not quite desperate, but he's like, he realized that he went for fast aggression, at least a build for fast aggression, but then never capitalized on it. And I think this is him saying, like, you know what, screw it. I gotta go quicker. I gotta put something in his base. I gotta put him on the back foot.
Yeah, for sure. And Gamja's not going to scout this because he's not going to send a drone out, but he's just going to wait until his Overlord actually gets all the way across the map, and he's going to see the lack of an expansion, and that's when he's going to know exactly what happened. So we'll see how much damage actually Panda Bear Me is going to be able to do here with these lings.
Oh, by the way, you know what? Odd fact, these Overlords did not see each other. They somehow managed to graze each other's vision, but not see each other.
But I think the Overlord actually, for Gamja, might actually see the lings moving out. And Gamja did go pool first, interestingly enough. So pull into hatch, which is very, very, very interesting here that he didn't decide to go hatch first. Maybe he's expecting some sort of cheese, but he will see these lings moving out with this Overlord here, and that should alert him to exactly what's going on, and he should be able to prepare defense.
Yeah, that is, I mean, maybe he's just guessing. I mean, it could just be good sense where it's like, hey, look, he's down, 1-0. Some of my opponents, and he does spot it. Gamja does see these 2 lings coming across the map, and he sees the other ones flooding. There is no spine crawler up. I mean, he doesn't have a queen yet. It looks like he had some creep at his natural, but he canceled it.
He canceled that expansion after he saw those lings coming across, and he's gonna get gas. So he knows he wants to get speed in order to defend against this. But Gamja has fewer lings here.
He canceled his spine crawler that he had in the base once his lings came out. I'm not sure if that's actually great or amazing, or great or bad, but
kept it there.
Yeah, but, I mean, I was thinking he'd do like a worker hold position, but still, I'm looking at this, and Panda Bear Me is actually not doing well in this fight. He managed to lose 4 Zerglings versus that.
And now the queen is out.
Yeah, this is wow. I'm really surprised that Panda Bear Me had the quicker pool, the quicker lings, but wasn't able to capitalize on that. That's very, very surprising to me.
It's because it was entirely scouted, and it was a pull first out of Gamja. So basically, that is what defender's advantage is. In general, it looks like Panda Bear Me is going to have a slight ling lead here, but no queens just yet. Speed is on the way. He does have 2 hatcheries, but he needs to make his queens as fast as possible. Yeah, Gamja has 2 queens out.
Oh wow, where's that? Where's the other one? Where's the? Oh, dude, I'm an idiot. I'm like looking. I'm like, where's Gamja? I'm like looking over here at Panda Bear Me. I'm like, yeah, not the right Zerg player.
This is not the player. You're like the stormtroopers. This is not the player you're looking for.
No, this is not the droid you're looking for. These are.
But
this is not the caster you're looking for, apparently, either, because I've borked this at least 3 times so far. But thank you for sticking with us, by the way. I gotta give a lot of props to Pluto. He does a hell of a lot more casting than I do. And he does it like a boss, and I just do it like, well, sauce, which is not a boss.
DJ is also a boss. The boss of the sauce.
Oh, literally? Oh, wow. I didn't realize I set myself up for your pun.
the saucy boss.
Oh, yes. So, but Panda Bear Me is going to attempt another push in here. He doesn't quite have his Zerglings in here because of a bad pathing issue that happened mid-map. But he's going to go ahead and push in with these 5 Zerglings. There are 3 more coming in to sort of support. Speed finally connects for both players, and now these guys are scurrying everywhere like cockroaches when the lights come on. However, Panda Bear Me is on the not so receiving on. He does a great job. Wow, he baits away all the Zerglings except for one with one Zergling of his own. Wow, great
That's
abuse
actually
of
very nice
the pathing mechanics, and he actually is able to bring it back and involve his queen in this this defense if he needs. That was actually really creative and really good on Panda Bear Me's part.
Baneling's on the way, and Panda Bear Me doesn't. That's gonna make a major difference here,
Oh,
especially if he can land the shots.
I mean, the Baneling nest is only 25% finished, and here the Banelings come in. He needs some extreme control. You need to put that queen there, pray. Oh, the Baneling goes off without a connection. Wow, that is such good luck, but unfortunately, there's just so many units flooding in here. He's not going to be able to handle this. He tries to distract the Banelings, but there's nothing there to deal with it. And Gamja, once again, has Banelings all over the map, and Panda Bear just says, you know what, that's not for me.
Out. Gamja taking it 2-0, moving on to the semifinals. Very nicely done. So, very good victories for Gamja. He looked completely in control. Or not Jeff Robinson, but he looked like he was in control. And we're probably going to go ahead and cast Kalazur in his next map. Or we're going to try to. I don't actually see him in the lobby here.
All right, so I'm going to make a caveat here that I may, there is a potential that I may have to go in the next half hour, but I'm going to go ahead and continue casting until I do.
Okay.
Here's the thing, people, and by the way, I would like you to, first of all, I'd like to appreciate all of you guys who've actually stuck on my stream due to its technical difficulty earlier, and for watching Pluto and I attempt to cast this tournament. It looks like my StarCraft just puked on me also. Wow, this is, at least the computer didn't crash, just the game client crashed. No, I've had, and I'm not going to go into too much detail because I'm not a huge fan of, where is StarCraft at? Come on, load, play. I had a family emergency that I had to deal with over the weekend, so there are potential repercussions for that momentarily. I don't know. I'm waiting for a message back from a relative. So I apologize. This is not normal. I'm not looking for sympathy points or anything like that. I'm just informing you that my stream may end. And if it does, I will let you know ahead of time. And to please switch over to Pluto's stream and give him the love for continuing it in my stead. But in the meantime, I need to hop back into this and act like the world's going to continue spinning tomorrow. Anyway, you know what we're going to do? We're not going to talk about depressing shit. We're going to play music from Monster Cat. So by the way, if you guys aren't familiar with Monster Cat, check out their stream. It's just music. It's all legal for Twitch. And I say legal because if you play stuff that's copyrighted, then you get your stuff muted. Not fun.
And also, in other news, there's a picture going around Twitter now about Emma Watson and Taylor Swift in a selfie. And
what?
For some reason, it's just like the best thing ever. Apparently.
You know what the thing is? I'm sorry, but I'm an Emma fan, and I think Taylor Swift is. Here's the thing. So Taylor Swift has had like 900 boyfriends, right? And everyone and all the talk show hosts make fun of her about it. But you know what? When you're young and attractive and a celebrity, you're gonna go through this stuff. Like, do you realize that Zsa Zsa Gabor was a model that has had like something like 20 husbands? Like her average marriage lasted like 9 months. All right, and
like
we're ragging on this young woman that, well, I'm gonna correct that. My contemporary, who is just hot as hell and has like had like 6 or 8 boyfriends in his number of years. I mean, come on. How many of you out there have actually had a relationship that lasted longer than 38 seconds? Your hand in a bathroom. Come on. Like, come on. She's an actual woman who actually tries dating people. She just meets the wrong people. It happens, right? We've all had this. Let's not crack on her. But Emma Watson and Taylor Swift in one picture. You know what? I'm gonna have to put that on a wall and be like, right there, wife number 1, wife number 2.
I can definitely get behind that. It's been retweeted 10,000 times and favorited 28,000 times.
Hold on. So that means it's been retweeted. You said retweeted retweeted more than it's been favorited, right?
No, it's been retweeted 10,000 and favorited 28,000.
That means there's a bunch of closet people who don't think that they don't want to admit that they like it.
Yeah.
Because if you retweet it, you're like, dude, this is something you gotta see, bro.
Well, things always get favorited a little bit more than they get retweeted, I think.
I suppose that's true, because you have to actually like hit 2 buttons to retweet. You hit the retweet button, then you get to comment, and if you don't want to comment, you just hit the button again. Wow, what has our world come to?
When you have to click twice.
I know. Like, you know what? You double click on Word to launch it to do your homework. Come on, people. You can retweet it or
I just want to
whatever.
like think about it, and it has to open.
Think. Yes, it's like Back to the Future 2, where it's like, oh my God, you have to use your hands to play the video game. Have you ever seen Back to the Future 2?
Actually I have. That's the one where the skateboards like hover.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a scene early in the game where where Marty McFly walks into like a diner, and there's a video game where it's like you pull up a pistol, and you shoot at the screen, right? And so he does it, and he wins the whole thing, and he's all impressed because he's still as good as he was before. And all the kids are like, oh, you gotta use your hands? Never mind. And they walk away.
So we are just waiting on the opponent for the Walrus to cast that game. And
dude,
also,
I want to cast this dude named Walrus. Like, literally,
the Walrus?
I'm gonna put on like the way you have the Rocky theme, like when you're doing like a long run or something. Like, I'm gonna put like I'm the Walrus in the background.
He's a cool guy. He's from Florida. I met him a couple times. He's knocked me out of a tournament once.
Oh, you should hate him then. Come on, hate. You had to hate
I faced him on ladder a bunch too, and he's always beat me on ladder too. I don't think I've ever actually beat him, and part of the reason is because he does go mech. He's a mech player.
Oh, so what you're saying is I should go mech.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
yeah, actually, I've actually been trying to do that against Protoss lately, just as an attempt. And by the way, for the guys who don't know, I'm a platinum level Terran player. While I'm not the most fantastic person, I try to make it with my personality. Isn't that how all first dates go? Hey. I hate it. Okay, so I'm gonna tangentialize for a second here. So someone in college once told me the following statement: you can be fat, ugly, and a bitch, but you can't be all three. And I'm like, I've noticed, and I hate to say it, I just thought the guy was just trying to make like a funny euphemism, but there's some truth to that. So I applied it to me, and I'm like, all right, so I'm not handsome, I suck at StarCraft, but I better be funny. Like, that's my option. Like, I have no other choice.
You've never met anyone who's fat, ugly, and a bitch?
I have, and usually I just want to punch him. Like, I just want to tell him, you know what, go to your corner, go skulk, and I hope the Blair Witch kills you, okay? Like, that's sort of the approach I take to people that are mean, because here's the thing, like, in my life, I've met people that are obese, and I don't mean like thick. Like, women that are thick, that's hot in its own way. You know what? Like, big women, that's cool. But there's that, like, grossly obese phase that at some point you hit, and it's kind of like, there's something you're missing here, honey. And it goes for guys, too, by the way. I'm not trying to crack on women, by the way. I just have never dated a dude, so I don't have any experience with that. Sorry, people. So I'm going to speak from this point, but I'm not bashing on women or big women in any way. I'm just explaining that there is a point where you can obviously tell they are not taking care of themselves, right? Or something's wrong.
Yeah, it's like there's a point at which you can just simply eat healthier and you'd lose so much weight.
Yeah,
like,
you either that or like a little bit of exercise here and there, or I hate to say, I don't recommend this sort of thing, but I suppose that you hit a certain point, you have to do it. Like, even liposuction becomes an option at some point, because it becomes health threatening for that sort of weight. Because what happens is, and I'm speaking from science now, when you have that much extra body mass, like if you're really large, it compresses your chest, the extra weight does, and it actually causes issues where you can have like heart palpitations, respiratory problems, circulatory issues, because the blood cannot flow through the area. Like, your heart just isn't strong enough to push your chest out because you've got so much extra weight on it. Things like your bladder, liver, kidneys are stressed by this too. But the point is that there are some people out there that are that way, but they have no redeeming qualities. Like, I met this really, really awesome woman in college named April. She was a bigger woman than I would ever be able to handle my life. I'm going to put that out there, okay? I just was not man enough to handle that woman. But you know what? She had this super pretty face. She always kept herself very prim and proper, and she was gorgeous for it. And she was friendly. You know what? She was a big woman, and it was going to take a big dude to pleasure that man, or that woman. But the point is that at the same point, I respected the fact that she owned what she had. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm talking about. Like, she took it out there. She's like, you know what? I ain't tiny, but I'm gonna rock your world. All right, girl, you go. And that's what I'm getting at. Like, you can be fat, ugly, you know, fat, ugly, and a bitch. You can only be 2 of the 3, sort of thing.
Can't be all 3.
Yeah.
And looks like we're still waiting on the Walrus, and he's here. We're waiting on Nuclear Pro.
Okay. And you know, we've actually I've never casted the Walrus. You have personal experience with him, but we've actually casted Nuclear Pro. But it's been a while actually since I think we casted him. What do you think? I think it was a month, maybe.
Yeah,
like I see him in the tournament every week, but we haven't had a chance to cast him though.
And looks like we are gonna get into a party here. So.
A party. What kind of party is this? Does this involve like cute women like April?
Yes, it does. Best party, but it's even better than that, and it also involves video games.
You know what the thing is? We were actually talking about this briefly, and I'm sure you read at least pieces of it in the caster and admin chat earlier. And the thing is that like video games is one of those things that like the general population ostracizes for whatever reason they do, because like, you know, it goes back to like the 70s and 80s when people were playing Pong and Pac-Man, and it was only computer programming nerds that played video games. But video games were actually developed as a way to introduce people to computers. Did you know that? What's going on? You're hyperventilating. What happened?
Sorry. In my chat, Beast goes. He puts it in quotes. He's like, "It's gonna take a big dude to pleasure that man."
You know what's funny? You know the worst part of that whole sentence, and this is why I feel terrible, is that Chicago had its gay pride parade today, and it's still going raging crazy. I can hear it outside my window. So ironic. That's where, like, because I was thinking, oh, you know, gay pride. They just had the federal ban sort of lifted on it and everything, and I'm like, yeah, well, sorry, it's gonna take a big dude to pleasure that woman, but. But apparently, if you're a large gay man and you seek other large gay men, that's perfectly okay too. Sunglasses on my face, boom, deal with it.
Deal with it. I'm gonna go ahead and try to restart my. Actually, there's really no point in me restarting my stream when you're streaming.
There is, but like I said, there's a potential I might have to go. Like I said, I'm waiting back. Here's the thing, viewers out there. I have this text message stream or conversation that I'm on at the moment that I'm waiting for my aunt to confirm something. It's a bunch of family members talking back and forth, and I'm just listening. Happens, I'm going to have to go, and I got to make a very private call, so I probably will end my stream at that point. So I apologize, but thank you for sticking with me. If that happens, please flip over to twitch.tv/sc2pluto.com to continue your coverage of the ESL Open Cup number 22. But I will let you guys know if that's going to happen.
Real quick, just to fix a couple of issues that's going on. Right before we hop in the game, we should be... There we go, we're live again. So, fix those problems.
Like I said, Pluto is having the same sort of nightmare I'm having with technical difficulties, so please bear with us. This normally doesn't happen, actually, and I'm blaming... there's a full moon or like an apocalypse or like, I don't know, like an eclipse or something going on. I'm blaming that, whatever that is.
when the galaxies align with our 9 planets in a sort of universal trend of bad luck that just strikes my and DJ's computer, then these sort of things happen. But the majority of the time, we are pretty fine. Welcome to the chat, new viewer. Hopefully we are back online at the point at which you're watching and we're getting in the game. I just had to add the delay and change a couple of the encoding things on my stream real quick, so that's why I restarted it. And I did the same thing you did. I had no delay for the past like 8 hours or whatever that we've been streaming. 30 minutes, but
you know the thing is, so when my PC crashed, I'm actually concerned that I may not have one right now, but I can't check because XSplit doesn't let you check your delay settings unless you're non-streaming. So I should have probably done that earlier, but I'm like...
I believe you do not. I believe you do not have a delay. But it doesn't matter because these guys are not in the chat. They're not watching. But we will add that as soon as we finish this.
Yeah, I apologize about that, people. God, you know what? I'm telling you, like, ESL is going to have my ass. All right, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and... Let's see what we got here. All right, so... Screw it. I don't want to do red. In the upper left-hand corner... We've got our teal Terran Or I'm sorry, aqua-colored Terran, I guess. It's Nuclear Pro.
He says whoever wins gets to lose to the Koreans.
You're like, oh, congrats. Wait, what?
And in the bottom, we've got our red Terran player. It is the Walrus.
Hype for the Walrus. Did you watch WCS? I got my boy Pol wrecked. Oh, my boy Pol got wrecked.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Alright, I'm gonna see if I can. Where is
Hydra.
come on?
You got wrecked by the winner, so that at least.
Hey, you know what? At least if you lose to the winner, then that's kind of okay, right?
Huh?
If you lose to the winner, that you feel better.
Yeah, and he got to the semis, so you can't complain about that.
Yeah, and so far, we won't know for about a minute or so about what these players are going to actually do. I see a small delay. Let's see here. Oh, looks like we're going racks first out of Nuclear Pro. That's nice. No gas, which means we won't. Now, this is one of those few things where, like, I'm like, hey, look, you can go racks first or gas first. This one is 99% going to be a Reaper opening because of the fact that he went gas second. There's also, the way this works is you actually don't queue up your 12th worker to delay so that you get a little extra minerals so you can actually get that gas up there. In this case, though, Walrus, though, there is no gas. I only see a racks. So this will be very interesting to see how this matches up because it's obviously, it's seeming like it's going to be Marine from Walrus versus Reaper from Nuclear Pro. So as you all know, Reapers kill Marines fairly quickly, one-on-one. It does take 2 Marines to take down 1 Reaper in a straight-up fight. And that looks like, let's see, I was right. Yep, Marine for one and Reaper for the other. Welcome to TVT, folks.
Yep, welcome to TVT, and it depends on where he positions this this Marine in order to get the maximum damage on that Reaper. But I do think that the Walrus wants to go mech in this, and he's going to make that second Marine there, probably just defending against the Reaper, and maybe put down a factory as soon as he gets that gas up. So I think that's definitely his plan here. I really don't think he likes to go mech very often, and obviously, every single time I play him, I just cheese him now because I don't want to play against him. But
he does pull a Marine actually at the back of the base. He rallies it back there initially to think that in case there's something sneaky back there. I think that was maybe a mistake, but he's rallying it here at the mini ramp, I suppose, the hop and step here. In case that Reaper comes across, which will be coming across, but the Reaper's actually going to choose the front entrance, actually, because that ramp is so popular. He tries to get out of view of the worker. I believe he actually successfully snuck past that worker, and he's sitting the Reaper at the natural just in case the worker was going for that. In the meantime, he throws down his own natural, whereas we're still... well, I guess there is a natural being built, just not at the natural for Walrus.
Yeah. He's building it in his base, and he's going to build 2 Marines at a time here on this reactor. And I'm interested to see what he wants to put on the tech lab. He's had 100 gas for a while now, or not the tech lab, the factory. There we go. Does now queue it up. So it's going to be actually a little bit of a delayed factory from his opponent, Nuclear Pro. But then again, he's getting 4 Marines now, playing very safe. 6, going up to 6 now, and that's interesting. I don't know if he wants to make any more than that, because I do think he wants to transition into that mech play. It looks like the Reaper is going to have a little bit of a field day here with this SCV in the middle of the map. And the SCV is just fighting back, but unfortunately the Reaper's...
Hey, you know what? Stab. The SCV actually did 5 damage versus Reaper, so you know what? Hype. Hype for the worker.
Even though the Reaper just regen.
First blood.
First blood.
You know what's funny is that first blood thing is like popular in several video games. Unreal Tournament actually gives it an achievement for that, by the way.
Oh, Unreal does?
Yeah, it does. And it yells it really loud. It's like, first blood! I'm like, holy God, like, come on, chill out, announcer boy. But the Reaper's he's gonna poke, but he's gonna die. There's 4 Marines there, and that's that. He doesn't spot the, unfortunately, he doesn't spot the starport going down. And you've got Nuclear Pro over here doing basically a very similar build, but much quicker. There's 2 Hellions out. You've got a starport being built. You can do Hellion drops with this. I'm curious as to what unit he's going to put on the starport. What unit comes out? Come on, Nuclear Pro. Make a unit. Make a unit. I gotta know. What is it?
That's what you do. There we go. Manavac. So, I mean, that was probably what he was going to make a Viking, right? He didn't have Tech Lab on that, so... He's going to be researching STEM, and I don't think he knows his opponent. I don't think he knows that his opponent likes to go mech But the Walrus is going to go ahead and just take a third base now, playing very greedy and getting an eBay now. Probably going to build a turret or two and going to go into that. He's making a Viking right now, but the starport is on the tech lab. So I think he does want to make a Banshee. Just going to make the Viking now to be defensive.
It's also possible, and this is not necessarily guaranteed, but it is possible. He might also go ahead and switch that to make tanks or Thors, so the tech lab might be preemptive. I agree, you're right. If he's just going to make medevacs or Vikings, there was no need for the tech lab. The gas of the minerals might have been spent better somewhere else. However, we will see what he actually does with that after this Viking comes out. But there is a drop over here from Nuclear Pro, not Plo.
Plo.
Pro.
Plo.
Yes, I was trying to be like Emma Watson here. It's Plo. Anyway, it's going to come across. Ironically, will it spot? It's going to spot this third that he previously wasn't aware of, but it will also give a little bit of information to Walrus to let him know, hey, there's a drop coming, yo. And this depot he's building will be kind of duplicitous. But he boosts in the Hellions drop. The army is way out of position, actually, for Walrus. And unfortunately, it's going to be roasty, toasty. Here we go. That's that. He just said,
Viking actually
oh!
picks up the medevac.
What an amazing snipe, actually, by the Vikings.
Yeah, he got a little bit lucky that Nuclear Pro did sort of micro his medevac out of range of that turret, and then the Viking was directly in position to take out in like 3 shots. And then as Nuclear Pro was
you did it too! Haha! You did it too! You did it too!
As Nuclear Plo was trying to load up into that medevac, he did actually take it out and killed a couple of other units with that. So Nuclear Plo definitely didn't. And that's just what we're going to call
Nuclear Plo. Oh,
but
this mine! It needs a burrow! It needs a burrow! Like right now! It's right in range! Oh! It's got a shot! Oh! It doesn't take out anything though because the Marines, I don't know why, they still have. Oh, they have how much health? 5 health apiece. That's almost insulting.
He's going to step 1 ring forward to take out the Widowmine shot there, which is pretty nicely done. But he does have a tank here with the rest of his force. The Hellions are actually quite a bit of work. Let's see if the Vikings land behind it. They do indeed, and he's going to be able to take out the rest of this this force, actually just forcing it back on the medevac. And let's see if he wants to push across the map.
Yeah, it's sad though, because that tank really isn't going to be able to do a whole heck of a lot. I mean, it's got a grand total of, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 hit points. So it's not going to be able to do a lot. But, I mean, it looks like, you know, Walrus has secured a third. I mean, he's got 3 mules there, so, I mean, he's getting some benefit out of it. I mean, his economy feels stronger. They're uneven workers, but, I mean, mules don't count towards the worker count in the harvester's menu. He sends a scout marine, Nuclear Pro sends a scout marine forward just in case there's a rogue mine up there, which is actually a really good idea. But he really doesn't have the force to push up. I mean, he's got some reinforcements coming here in the form of a few Marines and a Marauder, but he doesn't really have a force that can break this. I mean, the Vikings, okay, granted, Vikings versus, you know, Marines, not a great thing, but he just simply has more units.
Yeah. More units, and the Vikings probably will be able to take out that medevac right away and then land and try to do work. So that's also another possibility, but the Walrus has just had his third for so long now, and it's just saturating it and muling it up. Gonna go ahead and build a sensor tower. He has 2 tanks of his own now, and just like five factories worth of production. So he's gonna be really ramping up that production. Finally building an armory now. Gonna make that all into. You fell that lag.
There was no lag on my end.
I thought I got a little bit, but maybe it was just me being bad at observing. I might have jerked it a little bit. So,
now, you know what the thing is? This is the only thing I dislike about... This is how Terran sort of ends up initially. I don't feel pithy lag. This is the thing I don't necessarily like about Terran. You end up having to do siege tanks, right? And this is fine. This is standard. It destroys bio. However, it leaves you highly susceptible to drops. Even with this Viking force, he's got all of his marbles in one place. He's got Hellion, Marine, Viking. Everything is sitting here. Now, he's got the sensor watchtowers, which is very good because then he can see if someone's going to go around it. But it doesn't stop the speed. Like, literally, he can go ahead and take 1 medevac drop in one place, take another medevac drop in another place, and the tanks, they're still sitting where they started. You know?
Yeah, and he's actually got 2 sensor towers now to get a little bit of vision, and I think that's going to really help him try to defend the drops. And he's got a bunch of just missile turrets everywhere, just really loading up on the static D. But Nuclear Pro trying to do a little bit of what you said, engaging in different locations and just trying to, for as long as possible, stay out of the range of those sensor towers, and then
and he's got like an exact range. Something unique about sensor tower. Oh, hold on, there's some blue flame hellions over here. Sorry, by the way, at the third here, and they're just having a great old day. There's one with 2, one with 5, one with another one with 2. I mean, the workers over here at the third are effectively mitigated, and he's trying. And in the meantime, Nuclear Pro's like, you know what, screw that, we're walking into this. But there's tanks up there on the high ground. They are obliterating the Marines, and it's forcing Nuclear Pro to pull back. Meanwhile, you've got 3 Hellions by Walrus trying to, wreck what they can. I mean, this is a 2-front battle here at this point. I mean, it's harass versus harass.
Yeah, and Nuclear Pro does eventually clean that up, but it looks like the Walrus is trying to get a little bit of damage done with these Vikings here, and I think he can even push down that ramp. He has so many tanks now. He can just push down there and take out the rest of
You're absolutely right. He's sitting at this front alone, just on one half. He's looking at 8 tanks just in this little grouping, and he's got Vikings and Marine. I'm sorry, Tank Viking was a Wings of Liberty build, mainly because of the fact that you still had to deal with mutas. You'd have a few Marines mixed in there, but this is a very safe. I mean, this build is what you'd see versus Zerg. I hate to say it. I mean, this is very much what you'd see versus Zerg. And he's doing all the right things. Like, he's got a couple of SCVs
he
here.
scouts the drop with the Hellions. So he knows that the drop is on the way, but he's got a lot of turrets here defending against that. So I don't think he even really needs to react. Maybe send a Viking or 2 to make sure you pick up the medevacs after they try to boost him.
Yeah, I mean, sure, you can go ahead and push him with 3 medevacs. You can boost them across, but the thing is, you're boosting blindly, Yeah. In the meantime, Walrus is losing, Hellions to a defensive force in the, at the choke point here between the natural and the third. He does have Blue Flame Hellions doing something, so he's disrupting the economy of Nuclear Pro, which is good. Some of the workers are back over at the third, but I mean, he's trying to keep these medevacs alive. Or I'm sorry, Hellions alive, but they walk right into the tank line for Nuclear Pro, and despite the fact that that was the most expensive scout in the history of scouts, he's still got to defend against this thing from Nuclear Pro over here, which gets cleaned up actually very easily.
Even the Vikings being landed there, and now he's actually transitioning into Banshee production, 3 Banshees at a time, and Nuclear Pro is probably going to be forced to back up with this small tank. Oh, he's going to actually boost forward and try to drop on top of the tanks, and we'll see how that
goes. Oh my god! I mean, I love this, the balls on that. He's like, screw it, we're just dropping right here. But like, nothing happens. He's got no control over the medevacs. Wow, that just seemed, I hate to say it, it just felt sloppy.
It felt sloppy. It did do a little bit of splash damage. The Walrus did to himself, but yeah, it ended up not really working out. And he doesn't have the large army at home, and most of it's actually bio, which isn't gonna bode well against a bunch of tanks and Hellbats. Just the only chance is that if you get them on siege.
Yeah, he doesn't know. Right now, this unfortunately I think is over. Thankfully he doesn't get a lot of shots off, but he's gonna bombard this planetary fortress because guess what? Planetaries really don't do anything against tanks.
Oh, the Bioforce is going to go straight across the map and try to do damage. There's a single tank there. 2 tanks actually to defend, and actually he's going to bring the rest of it back. The Vikings actually catching some of these medevacs from behind, and all of a sudden Nuclear Pro's army is completely trapped. We're trying to get rid of some of the Vikings here, but there's no more medevacs. He's just stepping out of health, and all of the tanks coming back to deal with it. And all of a sudden, Nuclear Pro just doesn't have an army.
No, he doesn't. And you look at the army value tab, you look up here, it's 850 to 3350. I mean, all Walrus has to do is fart and win this game.
Yeah, he can fart directly into
this. And look at this. To add insult to injury, he's building 3 bases right at the choke here.
Well, I think that's not really adding insult to. I think they do that anyways as mech players. So much lag since Nuclear Pro. Unfortunately, he is the only one actually experiencing that. But the Walrus either wants to make these into planetaries or orbitals and eventually float them over. So actually, he's gonna float over a 4th base right away. He's probably just gonna make these into planetaries for a little bit extra defense.
Yeah, you know what's funny is that have you noticed over on the right-hand part of the screen that there's this barracks that's just been floating by itself over no man's land?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't need barracks. He's just scouting for drops, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have a lot. I mean, he's mostly workers. He does drop his base, but it's going to be eaten alive. But I honestly think that for Nuclear Pro. It's a little too late. I do think Walrus missed a massive opportunity a few minutes ago to try to get out there because it allowed Nuclear Pro to actually sort of macro up his base. I mean, he's got his fourth has been rebuilt. He's got a decently mined third, though he has several idle workers over by his third. And then his natural is mostly saturated. So but he just isn't. I'm like, you look at the income tab. I mean, he's got technically a higher income than Walrus, but Walrus just had a better composition, I think.
Yeah, and he has a larger army supply too. So I definitely think the Walrus is still in command of this game, and I just think he should just march across the map and win. Like he has a bunch of SCVs on auto repair. Just march across the map and win.
Yeah, I really think he needs to. And you're right. Like, even if you just do a little bit of tank micro, spread them out, like, over a little bit of distance, I mean, that helps. It doesn't have to be spread over half the map. I mean, you've got this sort of, like, I don't know, narrow high ground that Nuclear Pro is sitting on right now. You spread your tanks out across the ramp, and it doesn't matter. He advances into any of that, and he's toast. And it looks like he might be taking your advice. He definitely is sieging up his tanks near his, this would be his, I can't tell what you want to call this. This will be his fourth location, though hardly his fourth base, because he's got more command centers than teenagers have zits. However, Nuclear Pro is like, you know what, screw it. We're going to take out a depot. We're going to see what we can do here. He's walking across the map, notices the tanks are out of position, but there's a planetary in the third. If he walks into that, he spots it and decides to back off.
It'd be funny if he takes out that ferret, and then all of a sudden the Walrus can't make any more factories.
Actually, you know what? The pain would be real.
That'd be pretty funny, but looks like the Nuclear Pro is actually macroed back up to like about 76 army supply, so it's actually not in a terrible spot anymore. And I definitely agree with you that Walrus sort of missed an opportunity to just attack and win. And I think Nuclear Pro, the main problem is he has just not enough Marauders in this army. It's basically mostly Marines. And you really need Marauders against that type of...
and not only that, I mean, look at this. I mean, the Walrus has had... I mean, even though the fact that Nuclear Pro's had a stronger economy, the Walrus is still up 2-2 on all fronts. Weapons... For bio, weapons, well, is it for bio? No, it looks like he just went ship. Where's this? I need to find a unit that has, there it is. So no, I take it back. He went all, like his weapons and armor for his ships and vehicles is up there. And the bio just hit 3-3 for Nuclear Pro. So the thing is, I guess the weapons and armor just, no, the weapons and armor is still 2-2. So while Walrus does have an army advantage.
What's going on? Nuclear Pro is just expanding to all the maps. He's expanding to this map, which is the Walrus's map, along with the one in the top corner, and the one over on the other side. Like, I actually don't know what's going on right now. The Nuclear Pro is just like, I guess I'll just expand everywhere. Yeah, the thing is, it's like, I guess, like, I know when it's Protoss, it's like, when behind DT, no, what is it, what's the phrase? Not when behind DT, it's... Dark Shrine.
Sorry, when behind Dark Shrine, there we go. This is not that scenario. This is...
When behind, expand everywhere.
Like, you know what? I like, those Seeker missiles take out at least 25% of that army there, and Nuclear Pro is forced to retreat back to his reinforcements over here.
All of a sudden, when you stem, you're gonna be stemming to half health.
Oh, what is this? There was just scans aplenty everywhere, and unfortunately, I apologize, guys. I apparently don't have the GameHeart client, which tell me where people are scanning, so I'm hunting and pecking around like a crazy man.
It's all really close to Nuclear Pro's base, and yeah, we should be starting these games into GameHeart mode from now on. We do have the GameHeart overlay, but we're not taking advantage of the mod in creating the game. We should definitely do that in the future. The Walrus has a giant army, lots of Ravens. He's just sacrificing probes now because he doesn't need them anymore. He wants to replace them with army supply. Like, this game's insane. This game should not have been so long. Get combat shield, please.
Oh my God, the BM is real, bro. Wow. He's like, by the way, let me coach you while I beat you. However, you know what's gonna be messed up though? So I see this, and by the way, look at Walrus's. This is his fourth. This is insane. It's 4 bases, 2 planetaries, 900 tanks, 1,000 ravens, and a partridge in a pear tree. What are we watching today, Pluto? Because I don't think it's StarCraft anymore.
That's fighting over on the top side.
Oh!
Whoa, that was a huge battle.
The tanks and the Ravens just, by the way, Nuclear Pro, you had an army, now you have a tank.
Oh boy, dude. I was distracted a little bit by the, oh my God, battle team Oh, distracted.
Hold on, hold on. Where are some battle cruisers? We're focusing on them. Battle cruisers, cattle bruisers, here they come.
And Nuclear Pearl literally just doesn't have an army worthy of fighting any type of Banshee.
Pluto, he doesn't have an army.
Cruiser. He doesn't have an army, period. But there is a missile that doesn't go off, unfortunately. That would have been a sick shot. Wouldn't have done really all too much. GG, says Nuclear Pearl.
Holy cannolis. Wow. Oh my god, I think this is the highest viewer count I've ever had.
The highest viewer count?
Yeah, like simultaneous viewer count. I gotta make sure I'm actually looking at this correctly, because otherwise I'm gonna go crackers.
There was 40 earlier today.
By the way, guys, thank you for officially breaking my viewer count record. My highest viewer count before that was 11.
Yeah, they came